Now it's yours. Okay. Bad. Easy it. Yeah, man. Okay. Yes, now we can hear. We can hear the dog. Okay, great. That's bad. So yesterday's trades plan from went out great. Actually rallied a lot higher. So this was 10 o'clock. So if I just let it run till that evening, would have been a very beautiful play. We even had a second chance to enter right here. Anybody in the group here let this run play off as far as it could? Because that was, again, yeah, I'll remove my. So I'm streaming directly to YouTube today. It seems like I moved my name. I added the logo, I changed my name, and I have to change everything now. So did something unexpected this morning. Okay, so we have almost our range. So about a minute from now, we have a range. If anybody jumped in just 15 minutes ago on this one, congratulations. Good play. Nice continuation. So this would have been a good play here, both of them. So you had an upper value that and a lower one. So this would have been a long play. Definitely to the high. 1.5 straight off of it. Very nice. So we'll be patient. Again, read your trade plan in the meantime to make sure that you can follow it step by step. €1. Very good, thank you. Happy to hear, happy to see you. This month, only green. Not gonna stay that way, of course, but we're still looking for longs. Morning, Majid. Yes, I got in, out, at wick high. Okay, so you took wicks high. So you took this long and you went out right here, okay? Did you take it like this, Phil? Or did you put your stop under this one? Oh.
All go back to lesson one. We are doing the same.
Yes, under the fair value gap, right? So if you took this and you went straight up, that's 1.7. Good trade. Veel mensen daar heel ding. So rather small range right now, not too big. 14 points, so definitely very doable range. Just want to see if we act off of this gap right here, if we do have a push lower. But for me, expectancies today is still upwards. We made a 4 hour, we tapped it, so now we want to take out these highs, probably all-time high. And if New York wants a little bit lower, definitely possible. So again, for Anthony from yesterday, like I said, this was the first breakup structure. This was internal. Look, this was our retest, and now we made a new breakup structure to the upside so that you can actually see them. So this is displacement. We had over the high, we made an extra 80 points. So that means that we had force over the high. So that was a good displacement. So if we want to have a retest of this area, where do we take it? We watch where we have two swings, two wicks that are lower. This is the first point that we watch off. So we take a fib from here to the high. So that 50% or fair value price would be right here. So if the market wants to retrace, it will retrace to around this area. But then we need first a change in character or a boss structure to the downside on a lower time frame to see that this will happen. Before this happens, we are just trading long, of course. Morning, Neil. Yeah, that's possible. We just took out this 4 hour high, and now we will see what the market wants to do. Does it wants to continue a bit lower, yes or no? I would love to see us first hit this gap before we hit lower, but I'm not the market is not mine to tell what it needs to do. We do not have any news, so should be good today. Just at 1:30 we have some. Oh, something good.
Ontweekblazen?
So no breach yet at this moment, so let's have some patience, see what this market shows. So here, the market still shows continuation. We just came in for value gap, so want to see if we act, how we move. We didn't take this high, so it's possible that we still go a bit lower. If we continue up, we should see rather fast movement back up here. So we tapped up a value gap. So now if we want to go up, we should move with this candle back up and back to the high. So we still have some value gaps up here that I would love to see a step actually open and maybe then see that reversal. But for the moment, I prefer that we would go further up because this is like the order flow shows us. The good thing is now, if orb goes to the upside, that we actually closed this value gap already. We closed this little gap here, so that's a good sign for our continuation. So, how is everybody doing today? Hope you all had a great day. Our trading month started off really good, so let's keep going at this kind of vibes.
Sådär.
Så försöker komma upp på YouTube-rest liksom. Sen, okay, nice to hear that you're doing great, Blake. Yeah, the moon is beautiful. They are very big at this point of year. So no close yet, a minute. So if we get back in that range, we will have a continuation to the upside. A 15-minute does look a bit strong. I wants to like push lower. So that was a close. So Nusha's taking a short. Well, that was rather unexpected. So we're actually in between two ranges right now, so we can go either side from here off. So we had some liquidity grab, so that was looking for a continuation. We had a candle now that shows strength to the downside. So if we go lower, we will go all the way to this gap right here. So definitely decent trades. The upside is immediately all-time high, so not much in between anymore. So let the market do its thing. If we fall, we definitely could go to 25,300, something like that, 319. But the market first needs to show, of course, it wants to do this. At this point, it's just sitting here. So it just filled up this gap, and now it's just building up liquidity again. We will see in a few minutes what the market here wants to actually do. So not actually the movement that I prefer to see after we actually gain. We tapped that 5 minutes gaps, we pushed lower, now it sits here. So I prefer to see that movement to the downside rather quickly. So no entries yet from me anywhere. So it looks like we will have to be patient. I don't see any gaps either. So the only two that I see is right here, but I don't want to short this from this height. So in the hourly, this still looks bullish. So if we watch this, and we take this is our last structure move. Look, we came in for value gap, so this looks for me that we want to go up. But doesn't mean that we can't go a bit sideways. Take that liquidity one more time. That's all possible. It's the strongest movement for the starting today. So 10:30 somebody speaks. I'm gonna take myself something to drink. In the meantime, I'll be patient. Yeah, true. There are some minute gaps, but now it's building up liquidity right here. So I'm not watching the 1 minute. This would way that doesn't help, right? So I just don't watch it anymore. I've just been patient, see what the market will show. If you're in this short already, just let it play out. Um, this was the only thing that I saw that we could take to the highs, even higher. So and now we just sit here. So I'm just gonna be patient. But thank you for mentioning it, Garlic. A breakout structure is only use it on a 15 minute. A 5 minute is not very accurate. But then again, this lacks displacement, so there is no breakout structure. So if you see this as a 5 minute breakout structure, it lacks displacement. So we don't go above the highs. So if this candle should be a breakout structure, it should be here, all the way up. It's a bit different. So this is that displacement that I mean. But these candles don't displace above. So this is a good candle. So this is a nice volume. And here it stops. So it barely takes out as high. So if it takes out the high like from here for a 5 minute, if we say it goes up 7-8 points higher, that's a decent high reach. But this is like a half a point or 1 point. So this is too small for to say that we have a breaker structure. This is internal liquidity has been taken, and we have a breaker structure once we breach over it. So this is a breaker structure. So this is huge momentum. Same for here. So we have about 4 or 5 points from this high to this one. But just like 1 point above, it's very, very near. You will need some. You need to see the movement. So that this is a huge displacement. So we took a high, we moved. We took a high, we moved. So we can see that this candle didn't stop. So again, we took a high, we moved. We took a high and we moved. So this is that displacement that I'm talking about. You really need to see those candles form a direction. You're right. So Nisha closed the trade. She didn't feel it. Should probably wait a little. Well, if we watch the hourly, this looks like it wants to continue up. So we're still in this rally gap of this hour. So we can see the down candles were stronger than the push back up. So here we had a nice shape. So we should actually end it immediately to the highs, and we stopped just a bit before it. So we be patient and see what this meant. But this was the last displacement up. So this is a 50% retest of this breakout structure of this one actually. Okay, so now we have displacement. See, this is a displacement candle. This one. Someone blows. And here comes our favorite mascot again. So we're now in the last 10 minutes of this hourly, and here we do want to see that continuation clear to the downside. So if we fall further, I would say at least 25,314 would be our target area for even this low. So we just took out The hourly is wick, and now I want to see, do we fall fully to the downside right now? Yeah, you guys are all lucky if you trade or you can actually enter it rather fast in a trade. And it's about 8 minutes still open. So if open wants a little bit more liquidity, it will probably go to 24,000, 25,306, something like that. So that would be actually this low. That would probably my main idea that the market wants to go to, then to take that liquidity to move in that other direction again. I'll take read this one if you guys took this short. Actually, I'm just gonna manage it with you. So that will be almost 1 hour. I would like to see it fall to here. So that would be a 2 hour. 6 minutes still open. Volgens mij heb ik mijn stopmetsberekening in de NVDA. Of niet?
It's not what I mean.
So this is 1.11 hour price right here. Shadow Spirit. So this is definitely above 1 hour right here, guys, that you are to do as you please. So this is 1.5, 1.2. So this would be 1.5 right here. This is 2 hour. And if it keeps falling, we will hit that low. So that would be a 2.5, and then see at least once you get above that 1.2 hour, make sure that you take at least the contract off. We are 3 minutes from open. So the next 2 minutes, I do want to see that 15-minute push further down. So this 15-minute right here, I want to see it push further to the downside. So if we come like halfway back up, that would not be the greatest sign. But we can see that the downwards candles at this point are still stronger than the pushes back up. So it needs somewhere liquidity to continue the movement up. So like I said, the first liquidity that I can see is actually this low. One more minute, and now we have open. We have 1 5 right here above us, so we could act of. Now I do want to see that continuation to the downside. I have to tap right here. I don't want to see this come back all the way up to the high. That would not be a great sign. So that would say that this was internal liquidity being built up to then push to those highs. So until here we can go, and then now we should push back the other direction, back to the downside. So that would be actually an adding spot too. So if you would add to the trade, that would be right here. Yet. So here's our last 5 minutes. So we didn't close straight back down. So we're still in this movement. So just be patient. And no fair value gaps created. So another half hour, at least another half hour. So now we tap this fair value gap. So if you add it, that would be a great spot to be in. Like I said, that would again almost the same entry as you had. you got from the first one. And now here, this market should continue to fall to the downside if this would hold. We should not stall the next 5 minutes just here. We should actually continue. And I'm not in the mood really to short, by the way. I want long. So we trade, continuation trade is with order flow. So order flow at the moment shows upside movements, no downsides. So that would be a very not smart thing to do if I want to short this all-time high right to the downside. I would have to take profit very soon and not much place actually to take profit at this point for where to take it to. So the only thing that I can see we can take it to right now is here. But after that, I do have some gaps right here, and I would rather long from these than actually short from this to there. So if I was in this and this came back to my entry, I would close it. I would not want to see this happen. We came up, we came down, we tapped, we took internal liquidity actually. So we came back, we tapped now for value gaps, so that's okay. We can do this. We can close the full for value gap even, but we should actually continue. Otherwise, this was just an internal structure. So 4 hour looks bullish, so we had some sideways movements of about 12 hours again. So whole Asia was actually this sideways movement. Okay, we did have some volatility, but not a major move. I'll be right back. I still got like 15 minutes at least before I got any trades, so need to go to the bathroom for a second. Exact hoe dat heeft, zonder enige duur. Zonder zelf na te denken, onbeseft, ik doe het. Gewoon, ja. Wat voor eigenlijk die guy dat tegen zit. Ik doe vanaf de nu niet. Hebben we hem?
Ja, een beetje meer honing. Het is een zoet. Maar ook gerust van die andere honing ook in nog.
Dat is allemaal goed weer.
We zijn allemaal blij van je te horen. Ja.
Leer dan weer soms. Leer dan weer soms.
Ja, we zijn er gewoon goed. Graag, de allermooiste hand dat ik heb gezien.
Oh, that was a lot of amounts and short starting
Ja.
tonight's dinner.
Zijn.
So market is still not the biggest movement at this point. Nice song initial.
Zo grappig voor communities in België. Ze schiet, zo'n andere schiet of zo. Terwijl alle Duitsers lijken op elkaar, dat was toch niet waar. Zo.
So we have one more tab now. So this is actually now this gap is filled. So we had 1, 2 tabs. We got one more minute in this 15 minutes. So the next minute we should continue to the downside. You always can have patience, of course, until that 15-minute closes. It doesn't really matter if you just entered at stop or it's just like 2 points higher. That's not gonna make a difference.
Ik heb al die tandjes gezien. Ja.
Ooh. Come on, sit. Oh, ik een hond zo maakt dat is. Nee? Ah, ik kan het. So we're still back at entry. No entries yet. So I'm gonna give an update in the meantime about how far we are on the challenge. In the challenge himself, I'm up 22 hours and I'm in how many trades I take? 65, that's 10. 65, that's 20. Today would be the 30th trade. So if I take a trade today, my dog reacts to yours. So if I take a trade today, I'm on 30 trades. I'm up 22.1 on. So definitely a very great strategy to take. Sing-alongs. And all of these trades that I took were actually won or presented in Discord or traded live in front of you. It could be the NY session or the morning session. All the morning sessions are recorded. The NY sessions are not always recorded because I do them in Discord and I don't always remember to put my recordings on. You sent something yesterday, Anthony. What was it that you sent it to me? That was 25,303. No, I was out at this level. This was my entry on the 15 minute from yesterday. You were online with me. This was my entry here. And this is my TP. And you showed something. You asked me something yesterday. I see it now in Discord itself. So it's your entry 30 minutes ago. No, that was my exit. I closed my trade. So my trades are in Discord. I even followed this one up. If you go to Discord and you go always under my name, you can actually see my trade that I took. So I'm still sitting at the same range, nothing happening. Just being calm market today again. So no value gaps created. The second 15 again. So we're now at 9 o'clock's range that we have. So I'll set it out. So we do have 9 o'clock's range right now. Nothing actually happened at this point. So we're still at the same start about an hour ago. So just look it up. Let's just see what the market still shows us. At this point, we just like a bit of a sideways ranging market. So we do want to have displacement in one or the other direction. Same here. So this is open and now it just sits here. So market is very undersized. That means the market has just as much buyers as sellers at this point.
Waar?
Oké. Week of 3 to play 3. You know what? Ik doe meestal zonder trades. Ik doe meestal zonder trades. Okay, it's time to take my book out and read something because this is actually getting boring market at this point. I think the next book that I'll give you all is The Psychology of Money. Dude, this will give you so much insight. So who actually completed the book Best Loser Win? Did somebody actually fully listen to it? Because my YouTube tells something different. I can actually there aren't many that will listen to the whole version actually. They start somewhere and then actually they end halfway or like the first 10 minutes. Yeah, markets can be so.
Nou ja, dat is wel bij ouders, maar volgens mij.
Ja, die matje ligt buiten nu, vriend.
Ah ja, mijn vrouw zijn altijd.
I think he wants to move too.
Ja. Een donderdag meerdere keren.
Somebody is speaking at 10:32, so I don't think anybody is being patient for that.
Nou, ze heeft ook niets meer laten weten.
Wie dan?
De garagist. Het weekend ging ons toch laten weten van de stukken.
Nou ja,
En ze is ruim.
mensen.
Ja.
Kan ik doen wat al zijn. Hè.
Just die wasting nog nothing on the things.
So still no for value gaps, no entry models, no nothing. So just being patient. If the market stays like this, I'm just gonna call it a day. This is like the most sitting market that we've been into for a while. No movements up, down, just so maybe we now have that movement to the downside if we're lucky. Afternoon. See you in the afternoon session. Enjoy your work. Okay, I'm no fan of this price action. This just sits here doing nothing. I'm gonna call it today. This is not my style of trading. We should at least move to some kind of direction. It looks like we're gonna sit here all day. Look, we just sit here for 2 hours and the market didn't move at all. So we do need some kind of movement. If no movement, it's no point of trading, of course. So wish you all a good session. If you take it, I would take it to this low. If I find any 15 minutes soon enough, I'll look for it. But at this point, there are none. nothing gives me any movement that we could take at this point. So we would be here at least another half hour before I get any movements. By that time, I'm actually going to be off anyways. So I wish you all a very great session for the rest of the day.